Viewers, the latest news about Ethiopia, Amhara, and Tigray region is that the situation in Ethiopia is very serious at this time. In the Amhara region, heavy fighting is going on between the Ethiopian National Defense Force, its allies, and Tigray Defense Force and Oromo Liberation Army. Viewers, a few days ago, I informed you that Tigray Defense Force is moving towards Behirdar from B21 highway after gaining control over Dessie city. And now the Tigray Defense Force has claimed that the Tigray Defense Force has taken control of Mikane Selam on the B21 highway. Viewers, it has also taken control of several other nearby areas. On the other hand, heavy fighting is going on A2 highway. According to the latest reports, heavy fighting continues on the sides of Debre Birhan, and the soldiers of the Oromo Liberation Army are now heading towards Debre Birhan, and then surely the soldiers of Oromo Liberation Army will move from Debre Birhan to Fiche. Because Fiche is located about 88 km from Debre Birhan, and Tigray Defense Force soldiers are also moving towards Debre Birhan with Oromo Liberation Army soldiers. Viewers, and a video has also been shared by Tigray Defense Force in which the Tigray government spokesman Getachew can be seen with soldiers. Viewers, foreign government this week urged their citizens not to travel to Ethiopia and to escape the country as soon as possible if they were there, as Tigray Defense Force advanced rapidly on the capital Addis Ababa, and some countries began evacuating their diplomats. Viewers, rumors intensified that the city could fall within days or even hours, bringing to a dramatic and possibly even deadlier close an already bloody civil war between the federal government and the Tigray People's Liberation Front. We were desperate but defiant Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, ironically the winner of the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize, fobbed off peace envoys, declared a state of emergency, and urged residents of the capital to arm themselves to repel the Tigrayan forces if they reached the city, and an implicit acknowledgement that his own Ethiopian National Defense Force was not up to the challenge of defending the capital. And I already informed you that the United States bluntly advised its nationals do not travel to Ethiopia due to armed conflict, and gave its non-emergency officials permission to leave. Its practical advice to those US citizens who opted to remain included: draft a will and leave DNA samples with your medical provider. And the UK and other governments also advised their nationals to get out or not to visit. This week, Feltman told journalists in a phone briefing from Washington that, without questions, the situation is getting worse, and we are frankly alarmed by the situation. There has been insufficient access to Tigray since late June, early July. He said The UN estimated that only about 13% of humanitarian needs to the federal state of Tigray have been met. There were several reasons for that, including the fighting, but it's mostly government restrictions that have prevented the type of humanitarian access from getting to the people of Tigray. And we see signs of famine and near famine conditions. Will Davison, Ethiopia expert at the International Crisis Group, told DM 168 that he thought Addis Ababa was more likely to fall within a few weeks rather than a few days, as he believed the Tigrayan forces would first try to capture the corridor from Addis Ababa to Djibouti and Ethiopia's vital access to the sea. But who knows? Things are moving very fast these days. Because Davison emphasized that such chances as there were at this late stage of stopping the Tigrayan advance on Addis Ababa depends on Abey's federal government making some concessions to the Tigrayans. He said the most important concessions would be to end the blockage on Tigray, so the restriction of services, banking and telecommunication, electricity, and the facilitations of aid to alleviate humanitarian condition that would by no means solve all the problems, but it could be a way to get some initial cooperation by the Tigray leadership to stop their advance, particularly its advance towards Addis Ababa. But Davison suggested Feltman and Obasanjo faced an uphill struggle, and it was not helpful for the US simply to call on the Tigrayans to halt their advance, as Washington did last weekend. That's not going to have any effect. Because on the other hand, there were no sign that Abe and his allies were ready to make the kind of concession to the Tigrayans he believed were necessary to persuade them to stop their advance. Abe's call on Addis Ababa residents to take up arms could be very bloody for civilians. If the call was answered, which Davison was not sure would happen, though there was clearly a lot of opposition to the Tigray People Liberation Front and the Oromo Liberation Army, it was not clear that it would translate into effective popular resistance in Addis Ababa. Because 16 Western countries, including the US, UK, France, and Germany, demanded on Saturday that Ethiopia's government and Tigrayan forces cease hostilities immediately and compensate victims of war crimes. All parties must enter into negotiations without precondition on a durable ceasefire and commit to achieving a durable peace, underscored by justice and accountability that will enable future efforts towards reconciliation. Viewers, Australia, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Iceland, Ireland, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Sweden, the UK, and the US said in a joint statement. Because the year-long war between Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed government and the Tigray People Liberation Front has claimed the lives of thousands and displaced more than 2 million people. And the violent confrontation is expected to escalate as the Tigrayans and 8 allied anti-government factions threatened to march on Addis Ababa. Ethiopia's parliament declared a state of emergency earlier this week, and the military is preparing for a confrontation with Tigrayan forces and has asked retired military personnel to rejoin the army to fight. And the 16 countries demanded both parties of the civil war to comply with obligations under international humanitarian law and provide redress to victims of the violations and abuses identified in the UN's latest report investigation human rights abuses in the country. Because the report identified a multitude of human rights violations during the conflict, including attacks on civilians and civilian objects, unlawful or extrajudicial killings and executions, torture, and other forms of ill treatment, arbitrary detention, abductions, and enforced disappearances, and sexual and gender based violence. And the UN Higher Commissioner for Human Rights said those violations amount to crimes against humanity and war crimes. So viewers, so far the latest update. Let's watch the video. Thanks for watching.